The NFL offseason is going to bring a lot of questions regarding all 32 teams around the NFL. But today I want to zero in on the Cincinnati Bengals in their offseason so far. Did they do enough to return to the playoffs? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Mike McCarthy leaving the door open for Will Howard to start. And we're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers signing Tyrod Taylor. But before we talk about it and break it all down, you already know you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans, and welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down for this episode. So if you're tuned in, like talking football, regardless of the team that you root for, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe and join the NFL Central family where we love talking football, man. I'm a Bears fan. You right. But if you're a Packers fan, come in, join the family. Let's talk that shit to one another. It's fun. It's all for the love of the game. But hey, man, let's get this thing rolling talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. My biggest question for the Cincinnati Bengals is, will they return to the playoffs? We know with a quarterback like Joe Burrow, there is no excuse why this team has been out of the playoffs for the last few seasons. And now we look at an offseason and we say, hey, they really needed to improve their defense, but did they do enough is the biggest question, because we know the offense of the Cincinnati Bengals is high powered. You know, you got Joe Burrow. You know, you have Jamar Chase. You know, you have T. Higgins, Chase Brown back there in the running back room, and a number of other guys that can go out there and contribute in a major way for the scoring aspect of the Cincinnati Bengals. But we've seen time and time again, even last year, how that defense of the Cincinnati Bengals has let this team down. Now, let's just to go over a couple things that they did this offseason, which I think was very important for the Cincinnati Bengals, to where I believe they have improved tremendously defensively. They went out there, they traded for a really good defensive tackle in Dexter Lawrence, who's coming off one of the worst seasons of his career, but can possibly bounce back. They traded for him. They signed guys like Boye Mafe from the Seattle Seahawks to a 3-year deal. They picked up safety Brian Cook, and they signed guys like Jonathan Allen and Kyle Duggar in NFL free agency, which was a really solid maneuver by the Cincinnati Bengals. And if you look at some of their draft selections on the defensive side of the ball, some notable names that you might run into is Cassius Howell, edge out of Texas A&M, Takario Davis, cornerback out of Washington, and Landon Robinson, defensive tackle out of Navy. Now, these are all solid additions for the Cincinnati Bengals defense. And I think that this is something that can help them go out there and be very productive on the defensive side of the ball. Not saying that they're going to be top 10, but definitely will be much better than what they were last year and the year prior to that. I know there are some people that's going to question the Trey Hendrickson stuff. That's long and gone. These guys have now revamped their defensive line. They added help in the defensive backfield, and we'll see what happens for the Cincinnati Bengals, because there is no way on God's green earth that you can continue to have an organization miss the playoffs with Joe Burrow as your quarterback. It is absolutely a crime to see the Cincinnati Bengals out of the playoffs with Joey Burrow back there as your quarterback. If the Cincinnati Bengals don't make the playoffs this season, heads need to roll. Real talk. If the Cincinnati Bengals miss the playoffs this season with Joe Burrow and all those guys, heads need to roll. No more Zach Taylor. We don't want to. If you can't make the playoffs, we don't need to see you no more. Real talk. Changes need to be made if the Cincinnati Bengals miss the playoffs again. I do understand that they are in the AFC North with the Cleveland Browns, with the Baltimore Ravens, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But as it currently stands right now, just on paper, the Cincinnati Bengals look like they could be at least, at best, the second best team in the AFC North at best. And that's trying to give a little love to the Baltimore Ravens. Real talk. But these guys got to get their ass in the playoffs because while we putting them and ranking them so high, let's keep it a buck. The Cleveland Browns, if they get their QB situation in order, they might have something to say about this division. We got a lot of questions about the Baltimore Ravens and his new young coaching staff for sure. We look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I just don't have no hope for them whatsoever because they just keep doing buffoonery. It just drives me up a wall. Cincinnati Bengals, you better punch your ticket into the playoffs, bro. Not even gonna lie to you. Otherwise, heads need to roll. For real, for real. And I love some of the things that they did this offseason. Actually, a really solid offseason for the Cincinnati Bengals in trying to address their issues on defense. Because I remember vividly, as a Chicago Bear fan, that these guys screwed up a couple games, including the game that they went up against my Chicago Bears. But we'll see. I believe they will return to the playoffs. But if they don't, heads need to roll for the Cincinnati Bengals. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about that. Now I want to go ahead and talk about Mike McCarthy leaving the door open for Will Howard to start. And I'm 100% with it. But let's hear what Mike McCarthy had to say. He went on and said, when questioned about Will Howard and Aaron Rodgers and all this stuff, really dismissed Aaron Rodgers stuff. But this is one thing that he said about Will Howard. He said, quote, I think he's definitely a real prospect as a starting quarterback, end quote. Very simple, straight to the point, makes sense to me. Me personally, I don't know why we wasting our time with Aaron Rodgers anyway if we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't get it. I just don't get the sake of the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro. I don't understand it whatsoever. Can Aaron Rodgers come in and win you 8-9 games? Absolutely. You ain't going to no championship with the old man, though. So with. This is not Tom Brady making a return, resurrecting from broadcasting and coming to help Pittsburgh. It's not happening. At best, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they have Aaron Rodgers return, you get 8-9 wins. Maybe 10. And that's a long maybe. Maybe. Yeah. And then you still return to the same problems in 27. So what are we doing? Will Howard sat for a year behind Aaron Rodgers, got to soak up information, learn. Obviously, he got to learn new terminology and new schematics under head coach Mike McCarthy now. But he still was able to sit and learn the NFL game for one season. Put his ass out there on the field to see what he can potentially bring for your team. And there's nothing wrong with if you have to move off of that next year. However, it's still going to be an issue if you have Aaron Rodgers in there and you're still going to be searching for a quarterback. So why not go out there and start the search for a quarterback right now to potentially have a quarterback in the building for 2, 3, 4 years down the road versus a quarterback that's going to be here for at least one more season. And then you're starting that search next year. Start the search right now. Get prospects reps right now. Give guys opportunities right now. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, bro, it's just really that simple, man. We don't have to make this a whole entire complicated thing if we're keeping it a buck. We don't have to overcomplicate this, bro. Give Will Howard an opportunity to go out there and start for you. If he's not ready, go out there and start your QB search and then move on. You know what I'm saying? But let him run the season. Let him see if he can improve. Let him see if he can have a Tyler Shuck type of season. To where you start off a little rough, and then as the season goes on, he gets better and better and better and better. To where then you enter 27, and you like, I bet this a proven year, Will Howard. Go earn your money on. Who knows? You never know. Stop playing this Aaron Rodgers game, man. The whole tender thing with the Aaron Rodgers stuff, by the way, it was just a waste of time, in my personal opinion. You should have just cut your damn losses. But hey, I ain't the GM. I don't run the show over there. Y'all know what I do. But hey, we move on to the last topic of the day, man. And that is the Packers signed quarterback Tyrod Taylor. It's not Tyrod, it's Tyrod. That's what Baker Mayfield said. He said it's Tyrod. They said Tyrod trying to be, you know what I'm saying, keep a cool booty. Hey, but nonetheless, I think this is a really good signing for the Green Bay Packers. Even though I don't, y'all know we're not rocking with Green Bay Packers like that. However, I still think and can think objectively because this is what I do. I talk football. I think this is a really good pickup for the Green Bay Packers because for the last 2 seasons, Jordan Love has missed games. He missed 2 seasons last year and two games last year and 2 games the year prior. So a total of 4 games the last 2 seasons. And that's not to say that he's injury prone at this particular moment. He did go out last year because one of my players knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make jokes about that, just speaking the real about it. But hey, this is a really good signing for the Green Bay Packers to get a quarterback with the experience and the play of Tyrod Taylor. I think this is very good for them. They lost Malik Willis, who I think is going to do really well down in Miami if they continue to build around, him or whatnot. I think he could be really big for them. And I think that Malik Willis down there in Miami, hey, if they keep doing if they do next year what they did this year in the draft, the Miami Dolphins might be on to something. And I think Malik Willis should be happy. But as far as the Green Bay Packers, man, we know Jordan Love is going to be Jordan Love. It's going to be a really solid quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And if he misses a game, you have a really good backup quarterback to come in and fill, for a couple games. To me, that's good team building. I can't hate on that one. But it's nuts. Some most stuff Green Bay Packers fan I can hate on. But I ain't going to hate on this one. I think it's a really good thing for the Green Bay Packers. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well, man. Let me know your thoughts down below on the Cincinnati Bengals, the Green Bay Packers, and my other guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who've been driving me crazy for the last few weeks. But hey, that is it. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football. And y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break